friends, it's time for another installment of Bad Pets Hall of Shame. Today's stories are about dogs who have created outrageous damage or destruction to something for their humans. Their first one's called Peaches. It's about a Bichon Frise from England. To the British press, Peaches was England's most destructive dog. In 2016, the one-year-old pooch caused thousands of dollars worth of damage to her owner's home, destroying clothes, books, door frames, and furniture, including a couch that she demolished in 3 hours. Whatever she can get her paws on, she will chew, Sharon Johnston of England said. She doesn't just chew it a bit. She leaves a path of destruction wherever she goes. I don't know how such a small dog can do so much damage. She has eaten the entire sofa, chewed through the lawnmower, the back door, the garden table and chairs, and she tears the clothes down off the washing line. I've not kept a tally, but the cost of clothes, shoes, and furniture that we've lost must be in the thousands. It is so shocking, and I do get angry, but it is so hard to shout at her when it's so hilarious. At first I'm outraged, but then I can't help but crack up. She said to her children, Jack, 18, and Sophie, 14. They laughed too at their pet's destructive and expensive habit. When Peaches was 3 days old, Johnston rescued her and then bottle-fed the puppy formula every 2 hours, even through the night, for more than a week. We formed such a special bond, she said. The connection extended to her children. Peaches is a member of the family, just like a third child, but way naughtier than either of them ever were. Around 6 months old, Peaches, who had some poodle and bulldog in her, turned into a tiny terror. She chewed up Johnston's slippers and flip-flops, then graduated to Sophie's new sneakers and school shoes. The dog also tore into the kids' school bags and mangled their books. 5 minutes after Johnston donned a new warm-up outfit, Peaches ripped the back seam clean open. I hoped it was a phase, but Peaches just got cheekier. That means bolder in British. She'd leap up as I walked past, nipping at the seat of my black leggings before trying to yank them down. Living in our house was like being in a comedy sketch. I'd be running around the kitchen trying to get away from Peaches before she pulled my trousers down around my ankles and chewed them to shreds. All my leggings were punched with teeth marks, and so my underwear showed through. My handbags were torn to tatters too. In the backyard, Peaches would jump up and pull sheets and clothes off the clothesline. I'd come outside to see her dragging sheets in the dirt, Johnston said. Soon I was doing 3 loads of wash a day, 1 wash to clean everything, and another 2 to get the muck out after Peaches had her fun. She wanted to gnaw the world. One day, Johnston came home from shopping and found piles of sawdust everywhere. Peaches had chewed part of a door frame to splinters and gnawed at the plaster beneath. Fearing that the dog would systematically destroy the house room by room, Johnston set up a lounge in the back of her home solely for her pet. It had a gate to keep Peaches from the rest of the residents. It also had doggy toys and bones and a $2,400 brown couch that had belonged to the kid's late grandmother. Peaches loved sleeping on it. Then again, maybe not. After being gone for 3 hours, Johnston returned home to discover that Peaches had demolished the couch. Peaches was barely visible beneath a mountain of sofa stuffing and brown fabric, Johnston said. I would just see her black eyes peeping out from inside the sofa frame. She'd somehow stripped all the covers and stuffing right off, so only the wood frame remained. Oh, Peaches, how could you? I cried. She'd eaten her way through an entire sofa in 3 hours, but Peaches was wagging her tail, looking at me as if to say, Aren't you proud of me, Mom? As I lifted her out of the frame, I had to stifle a chuckle. I just couldn't understand how a small dog had managed to wreak so much havoc. Despite all the destruction, Johnston told the newspaper the family never had an urge to get rid of the dog. The way I see it, as long as she's okay and she's happy, then I am too, she said. The rest is just stuff that can be replaced, but nothing could ever replace Peaches. Here's an honorable mention from Australia. Versace, Armani, and Coco, 3 whippets, became an internet sensation in 2015 after their owner posted a video of their handiwork. While the owner was at work, they had completely shredded his bed, sheets, blankets, pillows, and mattress, down to the box spring. Paul Sinclair of Mansfield, Victoria, Australia, came home to find his bed totally ripped apart by his 3 whippets. He recorded the scene on his cell phone and put it on Facebook and YouTube. The video showed pieces of foam and bedding littering the stairway leading to Sinclair's bedroom. As the dogs ran up the stairs ahead of him, their owner exclaimed, "Goodness me, look at all this mess. What have you been doing while I've been at work earning money to buy you treats?" When he reached his bedroom, Sinclair shouted, "Look what you've done to my bed!" As the dogs frolicked on the rubble, he moaned, "It's all gone. Look, you've gone all the way down to the Springs, to China, you cheeky little whippets." The angry tone in his voice told the dogs that he wasn't pleased. Their tails drooped because they knew they were bed to the bone instead of bad to the bone. It wasn't the first time they had turned into vandals. Sinclair told the local newspaper that in the first 4 years the Whippets had lived with him, they had destroyed 2 couches, a dozen pair of shoes, 4 remote controls, numerous cushions, the front seat of his car, and a prized wood and leather chair. Too many of his possessions had gone to the dogs. The last one is Jess, a border collie. And Jess was a fool who rushed in where others feared to tread. She deliberately bit the tires of neighbors' cars, causing them to go flat. During a 6-month period in 2014, residents in a section of Cambria, England, were reporting to police that a vandal was puncturing the tires of their parked vehicles. A spokeswoman for the police department confirmed 10 reports of vandalism to tires during that time, though authorities believed many other victims failed to contact the police. A mechanic at a local garage who had replaced or repaired numerous punctured tires at a flat rate told the newspaper, "I was having to replace car tires every couple of weeks. Everyone thought it was someone with a knife." Policeman Simon Amos investigated the crimes but had few clues to work with. The problem was deflating to neighbors who lived on one particularly hard-hit street, so they installed a security camera in an effort to catch the culprit. After spending many hours studying video, Amos blew open the case when the camera caught the criminal red-handed, or more accurately, red-pawed. The criminal was none other than that dirty dog Jess, the border collie. When Amos confronted the canine's owners, the news punctured their view of the sweet, lovable 3-year-old pooch. She had been tirelessly leading a double life as a vandal. Video showed that whenever she was let off her leash during walks with her owners, she would trot over to a couple parked vehicles and nip at the tires without the couple noticing. Sometimes her teeth sank deep enough into the tire to cause a slow leak, so the tire was flat by morning. Confronted with the proof, "We are both just mortified," Jean told the newspaper. "She is the most obedient and affectionate dog we have ever had, and it is just shocking to hear this terrible news. We are very distressed by what happened. I couldn't believe it when I saw the security footage." To think that Jess had done this had made me feel very sad. I've had 6 dogs over the last 50 years, and none has ever been like Jess. She is such a lovely dog and very spirited. The couple reimbursed fellow residents for the damage that Jess caused at about $100 per tire. Since then, Jess has been kept on a leash during walks. She was no longer a vandal because she was retired. Get it? So those are the fun stories for today. I hope you enjoyed listening.